Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about AWS Rekognition, and it's an AWS service that uses machine learning to find things in images and videos such as faces, objects, and text. So that's what we're going to get into today. I'm going to show you guys a demo of how it works in the AWS console, and then after that I'm going to show you guys how I can use it in Python using Boto3 to interact with the service. So let's start. Okay, so I'm over here in my AWS console. If you need to get over here, you have to make an AWS account. Hopefully you already have one though. And to get over to AWS Rekognition, I already have it over here because I recently used it. But if you don't see that over here, you can go ahead and type it over here in the search bar. So let me go ahead and click on it. Okay, so over here they have a demo section, and this gives you a demo of how the service is used. So we can go ahead and click on label detection. That's what we're going to be working with the most today. Okay, so over here, let me see if I can close this up. So over here, they have an image. And as you can see, you have somebody skateboarding. He's doing a trick. You can also see that there's certain things in the image that are boxed up. So you have a building over here, and if you hover over it, you will see that it's labeled a building. Same thing with car, the skateboard, the person, and the cars on this side. If you look on this side over here, you'll see the results. It will say neighborhood, and over here on the right side, actually let me go down and show you more of the results that we actually saw by hovering over them. You see that it has a car. So some of the things that we see on this side, they're not over here, and that's just because it's a demo. But yeah, so these are the objects that it got from the image, and over here on the right side, this is the accuracy or the confidence that Rekognition has that it's correct on what it detected. So as you can see, the neighborhood is 99.9% sure that this is an image that was taken in a neighborhood, and I think that's pretty accurate. City also, that's very accurate. You see that has cars, wheels all over the place, architecture. You can also go to the next photo over here. Same thing. So you see how it has a tower, and this is a city. And as you can see, the accuracy for all of this is very, very accurate, or the confidence it has that the results are correct is very accurate. Let me go ahead and head over to image properties. So over here, looking at the image properties, this allows you to see some different results. So you can see the dominant colors. I'm not sure if I can click on that. I can't click on it. But you can see if you just look over this shade and try and spot in the image, that's the color that it got the most. As you can see the percentage. It also can show you details like the image quality, the brightness, the sharpness, the contrast. And going over here, this is another section that we are going to touch on using Boto3 and Python. The celebrity recognition section. This is the one I think I like the most. As you can see, this is Jeff Bezos. The result was Jeff Bezos, and it was 99.9% confident that it was Jeff Bezos. So this is another cool feature. Another cool feature they have is face comparison over here, where you're taking two images and you're comparing them using machine learning. So I'm not sure who this is. I'm pretty sure this is Andy something. He just looks familiar. But you can look over here and it says similarity is a 99.9. To be honest, while looking at these images, they don't look alike to me at all. But I'm just guessing that this is the younger version of him and this is the older one. Now, if you click on Jeff Bezos over here to compare it to this guy, you can see that there is no match. So over here, let's go into text and images. So you see that this image has a text. It's Monday, but keep smiling. And it gives you the result over here. So let me go on this one real quick. Gives you the license plate. Oh, that's scary. That's cool. So it gives you the license plate as a result. So yeah, this is a very powerful service, and you can also analyze videos. I'm not going to get into that in this video. I just want to keep things pretty simple, and I think looking at a picture is way easier than looking at a video. in this context. Now I'm going to go ahead and head over to VS Code and show you guys how we can use this service with Boto3 and Python. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new folder over here. And we'll just call it AWS ML for machine learning. And I'm going to open this up in VS Code. Oh, too much. Just need one. Let me make this bigger. So open file or open folder. Go to desktops where I have my folder. There it is. I don't have anything in it yet, but we'll create some files. Yes, I trust the author. So let's create a new file. Let's call the file Rekognition _ AWS.py. We'll also be creating an NV file to host our secret keys. So you're gonna need your access key and your secret key for this to follow along. So if you don't have one, you can search up a YouTube video on how to get that with AWS in the console. I already have one, and I'm actually gonna be exposing mine because I'm going to change it, and I don't want to hide them from you because I don't want to edit the video and blur it out. That's too much work for me. What else will we need? I guess you could have a requirements.txt file because you're going to have to install Boto3 and some other libraries, but I won't do that. Okay, so the first thing we are going to import is Boto3 because that is how we are going to be interacting with AWS services. After that, we are going to use .nv, and we are going to use the load.nv so we can get our secrets from this file and use them later on in this file. We are also going to import OS. Okay, so we're gonna have to do a couple things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to this file and create some variables. So I'm going to create access key, or what should I call it? AWS access key, if I can spell it right. And I'm going to have this none for now because I need to go grab them. AWS secret key. I also set that to none. Let me actually pause the video and go grab them. The time this video is up on YouTube, these keys will not work anymore. Haha, hackers. Let me save this file and go back to this one. X this out also. So we're gonna load our environment variables. So I'll do that by doing this. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to create a client for we want to create a Boto3 client for recognition. So I'll just create recognition client. So you're gonna name this variable reco _ client, and we're gonna call Boto3. Oops. So this is where you, over here is where you call the service. So I'll be calling that service, and also I'm going to pass in my my AWS secrets. So and this is going to be os.get. And what did I name this one? Just gonna go ahead and copy paste and paste it down over here. Change this to the correct name, which is AWS secret access key. Then I'll go over here and get my secret. Okay, so that should be good now. Now I have a photo over here of two of the best basketball players of my generation, and I'll open it up over here so you can see it. two of the best, and then we have KD over here. We got LeBron James, Steph Curry, and a snake. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to my project folder, or the folder that we're using right now. So I'll just put that in there. Let me just make sure, see if it's in there. Okay, as you can see, it is in there. So close this up and go back to VS Code. Okay, so over here, we're going to be opening up the file. So in file, come down over here, we're gonna open it. And I can't type. You're going to need the name of your file. So I'm gonna open up my terminal real quick and just ls it to copy the name of my image file and paste it in there. And we are going to be reading this in bits, so I'm going to put RB. And from now, we're going to call this the image underscore file. And then we are going to be reading the file. Oops, I could just do file. Let me close this up real quick. .read. And we'll actually set this to be a variable for later, so we can take the result and pass it through later, and you'll see what I mean in just a second. Oops. Now this is the fun part. This is where we're actually going to be calling the service. So we're going to be calling Rekognition. So we are going to make this a response variable. What did I call it up here? The Reco client. Detect. So we are going to be detecting the labels in this image, just like we saw earlier in the AWS console. So we're going to set some properties over here. So we're going to have image. Oops. I can't type. And we're going to call our file over here bits. Another thing we're going to set is we are going to set the minimum labels that it will give us. So, we're going to set the maximum labels that it will give us. I actually tried to set the minimum and I wasn't able to do that. So, minimum labels. And another thing we are going to set is the confidence. So earlier we were seeing how it was 90% confident on some things, 85% confident on other things. So we want Rekognition to get labels with a high confidence. So we're going to define this over here. And what I mean by high confidence, it's over a percentage. Somebody's coming into my room. Let me pause my video. I'm not sure about the last thing I just said. I had my brother just walk into my room asking me for something, but let's continue. Okay, so like I was saying, we were talking about setting the confidence. So we are going to set the confidence to 94. And we are going to ask Rekognition to only give us a maximum of 10 labels, nothing more than that. We don't want a long list. So I'll come down over here. So over here, we're going to print the result. So print result. And we're going to use a for loop to print the result. So for label in response, we are going to get the labels. So now we are going to print. Oops, can't type. Not really used to this keyboard. Still trying to get used to it. Make an F statement. We're going to use label. We're going to call it dictionary. We're going to get the name. Then over here, right next to the name, we'll have the confidence. So we'll call this again. We'll have the confidence. And this is gonna come out to be a percentage. So let's make it a 2 decimal place percentage. So do that and add in the percentage tag right there. Then I'm gonna go ahead and save the file. That's not how you save a file. Okay, so now let's open up our terminal and run this so I can show you guys the result. Okay, so let's run this with Python 3. Okay, so we got an error right over here. Let's see what's wrong. Okay, so all right, it should work now. Let's run this again. We have another error. Detect labels. Maybe it's an S. Yeah, so it is an S. So now this should work. Just errors upon errors. Let's go ahead and troubleshoot this. Okay, so just looking over here, I see that I just set confidence, but it's supposed to be minimum confidence. So we want the minimum confidence to be 95. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Save the file now. Fingers crossed. Hopefully it works now. Let me clear this first. Jackpot. Okay, so looking at the results, you can see that. Let me pull up the photo of our basketball stars, or my generational basketball stars, or my generation's basketball stars. We have this over here. Let me see if I can open them up at the same time. I'm not sure how this is gonna look on y'all's end. Have this right over here, and I have this over here. Let me close this up. So let me run that again. So you can see that these are the results it got. It got head. You can see their heads, person, face, gold medal over here. I mean, they just won the Olympic tournament over the summer, so yeah, they are definitely smiling. My heroes. All right, but now we know that LeBron, Kevin Durant, and Steph Curry are some big celebrities. So now let's go ahead and detect celebrities over here. And we are not going to be detecting the labels. We are going to be getting the celebrities. So celebrities underscore Rekognition. So this will not change, and these two will. See, I won't even get the emotion. I'll just get the confidence just to make things more simple. Let's make it. I think this picture is very easy to detect, so I'll make it 97%. And over here, we're going to change this to celebrity faces. Or celebrity faces. Yeah, let me see if that works, and I'll just change this to celeb. I spelled that wrong. Okay, let me grab this. See how this works. Open up my terminal, and we're going to run the file again. Okay, so I had to make a couple changes. I had to change this to recognize celebrities instead of guess celebrities or celebrities recognition over here. And I also got rid of the confidence parameter over here because that was an invalid parameter for recognize celebrities. Also over here, I changed this from confidence to match confidence. And now if I were to run my code, I would get my result. So boom, it was able to detect Kevin Durant and LeBron James, but for some reason it wasn't able to detect Steph Curry. And bring it over my AWS console over here. I'm also going to show you that over here, if I were to drag, or let me drop my file. I go over here, I go into my file and I get that photo, it's also not able to detect Steph Curry over here for some reason. I'm not sure if they don't think he's famous, but you know, I have no idea. But that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. I'm going to keep on working on this and some other AWS machine learning services. Maybe if you're studying for any AWS exams or you're just trying to get some practicing with AWS, hopefully you find this helpful. I'm also going to write a Medium post about this and try to make some type of resource that will help somebody that is now learning the service. So make sure you check the description because I will have something up there. And if I don't have it up today, which is the 28th, I will have it up tomorrow on the 29th of May. Hopefully that's when you're watching the video. But yeah, I mean, I was just doing this to get some experience and I had nothing else to do today and this morning. So I was like, why not? Why not learn something new? So yeah, I mean, I don't want to keep on talking. See you later.